The Cleveland Browns are coming off of a season where they went 7-10 and missed the playoffs for the second consecutive year. Deshaun Watson missed 11 games last year, and when he came back, he did not look like his usual self. He looked uncomfortable in the pocket and his throwing looked off. I myself am giving him the benefit of the doubt, however, because he hadn't played a game of football in over 700 days. It sure did look like he was rusty, but after a full offseason of practicing, I'm sure he will look like his usual self by week 1 of next year. This offseason has been going pretty solid for the Cleveland Browns, as they have made some finishing touches to a roster that can compete for a championship in the upcoming season. In the 2023 NFL Draft, the Browns obviously didn't have a pick until the 3rd round because they traded him for Deshaun Watson, but they went out and drafted Cedric Tillman, a wide receiver from Tennessee, to give Deshaun the most health possible. Scouts labeled Tillman as a highly competitive wideout with an enticing blend of skill, size, and toughness that fits exactly what the Browns are looking for in a wide receiver. Tillman proved how tough he is after getting a horrible injury in 2021, coming back and looking even better. Before the injury in 2021, Tillman had an insane year. He tallied over 1,087 yards with 16 yards per play and 12 touchdowns. The Browns used their 4th round pick on offensive tackle DeJuan Jones, who will help this already top 10 O-line a ton. Heading into the draft, he was labeled as a massive right tackle with rare length but limited athleticism that impacts his consistency. His total combine score was a 75, which is 9th for all of offensive tackles in this year's draft, proving why he was a steal in the 4th round. Last season, the Browns had a top 6 offensive line led by, sorry I might be pronouncing his name incorrectly, but Joel Bitonio and Michael Dunn. The Browns had gotten the proper protection for Deshaun Watson, and they've gotten some of the best wide receivers and weapons in the league. The Cleveland Browns already arguably have the best weapons in the league for Watson to throw to in David Njoku, Amari Cooper, and now Cedric Tillman, and you can't forget that they have, in my opinion, the best running back in the entire league in Nick Chubb. With Watson being the athletic freak that he is, having these weapons around him, I really see no reason for him to be bad next season. You also do have to keep in mind that he has an entire offseason to work out with these guys, and honestly, the sky is the limit for them next season. The Browns' defense is also what entices me so much. They've got arguably the best defensive player in the league in Myles Garrett, and they just got a new defensive coordinator in Jim Schwartz, who has coached some of the best defenses in the league in the last 2 seasons. Yesterday, the Browns made a blockbuster trade acquiring Zadarius Smith from the Minnesota Vikings for just a few late draft picks. In my opinion, this was a steal. Zadarius Smith is one of the best pass rushers in the league, and last season he helped the Vikings make the playoffs, getting 10 sacks and 45 combined tackles. Zadarius Smith has proved that in all of his years in the league, that he is a tough vet and leader that is willing to put in the work to lead this Browns team to a playoff run. Houston Texans' Deshaun Watson was arguably a top 3 quarterback in the league, and I'm sure he'll get back to that next year, and the Cleveland Browns have a better roster from top to bottom than the Texans did in any of the years that Deshaun Watson was there. I believe the Cleveland Browns will be a top 5 team in the NFL next season, and it's time the NFL fans start seeing the hype. Not to mention, their strength of schedule is a .460, which is 26th in the entire league, so they will likely finish with a very good record. The NFC North is arguably, however, the best division in the entire league, but when you look at pure talent, the Browns might honestly have the best, and that's saying a lot. You're in a division with an MVP caliber quarterback in Lamar Jackson, a Super Bowl caliber team in the Cincinnati Bengals, and a good young team in the Pittsburgh Steelers. This Browns team is special, man. They've got little to no flaws at all on this roster, and they've finally gotten the perfect team from top to bottom to beat anyone in the league. When you think of the best teams in the AFC, you think of the Kansas City Chiefs, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Buffalo Bills. But I want you guys to now start thinking about the Cleveland Browns. What do they have that's any worse than any of those 3 teams that I just mentioned? I know in the past years they haven't been as good, but it's time for people to start putting respect on the Cleveland Browns name. So if you want more NFL content and you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more. It's been Jay, and I'm out. Peace.